Okay, so we're heading into, we're still headed uphill. Actually, I don't even make it very far. But we're heading into the sunny part, and it's sandy, gravelly kind of soil. We're heading into Fox Field is the name of the field when I was growing up. So that's how we got part of the name for the business. There's some Monarda. And somebody identified this cute little white flower. That one's different back there on the walk, and now I forget if it was a euphorbia. We have a lot of that. And there's a dog. Here's a big patch of sassafras. There was a lot of talk about sassafras. They were a little disappointed I didn't have any sassafras tea for one of my refreshments, but I haven't done sassafras tea. So I did tell them all about the Stones Trace thing in September, because I know they always have sassafras tea there. But we might try to harvest some little ones and put them in pots. They're not easy to dig, so we'll see. But we have large patches of this around in different areas. Ooh, these are good ones. Those are nice and big. Excuse me while I eat. Okay. Here's some of our meadow. Real mix of red clover. There's some yarrow. Little sassafras. Everybody knows Queen Anne's lace. It's got the pretty little red heart in the middle. Dog. Here's some poison ivy that I'm standing in. There's a rudbeckia coming out. A little bit ago, a couple weeks ago, we had a ton of butterfly weed. Now I've just got a few blooming. See the orange back in there? But there is a lot dispersed out throughout here. And there goes a monarch. Not sure where he's headed. I don't think he knows either. There's some mullein poking up back there. I make an ear tonic for that, for having ear problems from the blooms. That's about as far as I've gotten with that healing herb. I was hoping to see some more butterfly weed, but not seeing any. Okay, we're going to start getting into where the ebony spleenwort fern are growing, and they're everywhere in here. There's just cute little max 12-inch tall little ferns. They love this sandy, gravelly soil, and they just mix in with everybody, and they're all along this trail. You can see them in the poison ivy, Virginia creeper. I'm still here, Luna. Keep going. So we have a lot. That one's actually a little taller. That might be 24 inch. But they're super happy here in this, not the super great soil. Don't eat it. So we start talking about invasives again at this time, because we do have a few invasives on this trail and elsewhere. But these are the honeysuckle bushes. The birds love the berries. It looks like the berries are just about done. Oh well, here's Yeah, no, that's not it. They have nice, juicy, round, red berries. And the berries, then the birds disperse them, and they obviously plant and germinate easily. We have a lot. The other thing that we have is what I think they called it something olive. It's on the invasive list. It gets thorns on it, so it's not a super friendly. But I'm going to show you some really big ones here pretty soon. The bad thing for me is they smell really good, and so I really like them. And so I am bad, and I keep some just because I like to smell them when they bloom in the spring. Okay, we talked about the another invasive that we have, the multiflower rose. The story I've heard a few times is that this thorn in my side, nemesis, that we have everywhere, was actually introduced by, well, advocated by the state of Indiana to be used as a living fence back in the, well, it had to be the 50s or 60s, because my mom got some from Purdue, and it did make a great fence, but it also spread everywhere because the birds also like the berries on that. Here's one of those olives getting bigger, but I've got some that are even bigger than that, because we just have to grow the biggest and the best here. So again, this is one of our open wildflower areas, sunny. There's some more. There's some bigger rudbeckias back in there. Well, these days I'm going to bring the goats with me, and we're going to, well, I'm not going to, they're going to start chomping down on this and try to get it cleaned up a bit. Oh, there's another one of those olives right there. Huge. They can get pretty darn big. Okay, we're almost to the top. We are finally to the top of the hill. And this was pretty darn exciting on the tour because it was so hot. And when we got up here and it opened up, there was a breeze. And it was fantastic. Besides the beautiful view from up here on top of the hill, we call it the sledding hill. Used to be a pasture, and it has stayed fairly open. There's another monarch. We do have a lot of common milkweed. Unfortunately, it got mowed, so there's not a whole lot of it left. But the bonus was, when we get up here a little bit further, I had just researched what this flower was the week before and found out that it's world milkweed, and that was something pretty exciting for everyone. I didn't know it. I didn't know it was exciting, but we have a whole patch of that. There he goes. You can see some of the milkweed that didn't get mowed on that little hill right there. I walk faster. I won't have to pause. So, walk faster. We're almost to the end of this tour. This is only the first tour. We did another one that'll be up next where we went through the wooded area. So hopefully the world milkweed is still blooming. Let me get up here. Yeah, here it is. So it looks totally different than the common milkweed, and it's short. Just a little guy, but that could be too just because of my soil, because again, this is gravelly, sandy soil. You can see Mr. Honeybee, he's working away. They seem to be very popular pollinators. That one's even got a little bit of a, like a wormy worm on him. But yeah, we've got a little moth over there, so they must taste good. They're not super showy, but hey, I'm excited. We got a huge patch, and you can see how busy it is in here with all the pollinators. So yay. Hopefully, I can't see because of the sun, so hopefully I'm not like taking a picture of the sky. I probably missed the whole thing. See if I can look back, see all of them. Okay. And then this is where we headed back down. Shoot, so I just realized I forgot one of my stops. Was one of the items that we do carry in a bare root is the Carex pennsylvanica, which is a shady grass, and it's just little soft tufts of grass. It's so soft and awesome for really shady areas, and we have a great patch of it up there. Hello, guy. And I forgot to show ya, but we did stop and look at that. This is my apple mint bed. It's already gone to flower, so I probably won't be harvesting it anymore this year. And also I get my starts from my rudbeckia in here that I pot up. But yes, this is the apple mint, or garden tea, or Amish tea. It gets called all of that. So this is my Matusia strathiopteris original bed, which are my northern ostrich ferns. So this is what Strand Nursery was known for when I purchased it. However, they were harvested at that time up in northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and none came with the sale of the business. So I am sourcing these in the area. If anyone has any of these that they would like to sell me, I will dig them and pay you, because I have a lot of customers who would like them. In the meantime, I've been starting beds everywhere, from ones I've harvested and planting the runners. So this is a bed that I just did last fall. So you can see how they're growing pretty quick. And then I have, these are royal fern starts that I have, because we had a shortage on those this year. So we're going to start growing our own, and they're doing okay. That was from last year. And one cinnamon. Oh yeah, one, maybe two, but they got flattened. And then this is the shop. We're back to where we started on that tour, and we did our tea tasting. We had strawberry rhubarb punch, which was a favorite. All my dried culinary herbs, we made a dip with bread, and it was fantastic. Rebecca made that. And we had yogurt with spearmint from the garden, and strawberries or blueberries that were fresh. And then I had assorted teas, herbal teas for them to try, so they could make their own little tea bags up, and they could make their own. And a couple did. It was awesome. We ran out of just about everything. And so after everybody cooled off a bit, then we headed off on the next tour. So here we go. So due to not getting any inventory when we purchased Strand Nursery, our inventory, our stock that we discussed on the tour comes from all over the country. It comes from Arkansas, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Indiana. Forgetting somebody. I think I had some from North Carolina. So we're bringing that in to fill orders, and we just quality control them and sort them and stock them. So what I'm showing you next is some of the beds where we're starting to stock our own, so we can dig them ourselves and supply our customers. So I'll show you this bed, and then we'll have our other beds at the end of this tour. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Okay. So we have a whole row here of Trillium erectum, red Trillium. Of course, it's dormant right now because it's one of our first peak ups in the spring, which is mostly what I plant are the early spring ephemerals. So I'll be digging these to send out this fall because people will get them ready for early next spring. They'll get them ready this fall. But otherwise, these are the taller ones are lady fern, Philomena. We have there's some more Trillium. We've got grandiflorum, which look at that. There's still a leaf left. Normally it's green. He just hasn't fallen off yet. We have some leatherwood. This is leatherwood fern. It's a little darker. It's a little more turgid. Thicker leaf. Lady fern is a little bit, I'm doing it again, looking at the sky. I'm sorry, you guys probably missed that whole thing. Lady fern, softer. This one's thicker. So that's leatherwood. And you can see here's 3 rows that we actually harvested because we just planted these last year. So we harvested these this spring and sold them and replanted. So you can see all the babies starting to come back up. And here's our Christmas fern. He's nice, bold. He will stay green all through the winter. He'll just get a little flat. But yeah, he's a good solid fern. You'll see a lot of these when you go down south in the woodlands. Back in here, you can see my flags. This is how I can tell when things have died back, where they're at, so I can dig them in the spring. So these are mayapple. And also I can tell which beds are my newer beds. So I have some that have naturalized back in there that were here already. I have a bed from last year. I have a bed from this year. Clear back in the woods we have where those orange flags are. That's where some ramp was, so I can harvest that. And then this whole grove of trees here we were discussing because I think they're called black gum, which is not super common in this area, but absolutely gorgeous. Here in a month or so when the leaves start turning, it is so pretty. And I think I have a picture of it on the website in the fall, or at least on the Facebook page. Very pretty. Favorite. This is one of my favorites. So as we walk through here, we talked about stinging nettle because we're going to walk through a bunch of it potentially on this walk. But also the very invasive because it spreads by seed is the jewelweed. And I call it a companion plant to the stinging nettle because typically wherever it's growing, stinging nettle is also. Same type of soil that they like. But if you get stung by a nettle, these jewelweed are awesome to just squeeze, get some juice out of those leaves and rub it on the sting. And it really does, because I've had to use it a few times, make the sting go away sooner. So I know it's invasive, but it's sure nice to have. Here's some jewelweed super mango tall. We're getting into a swampy area with blooms.